Virgo.
Hello Virgo, this is your May forecast for 2013, and this month starts out on a little different note than what you've been experiencing here the last couple of months. So in March it was all about all these things with the relationships, and then April was more about balancing out what you want, what you don't want, as far as all that goes, and then the intensity of those emotions really bringing things to the forefront. But now it's more like I see you kind of taking a different approach to those things that happened early in the year here. Now it's more seeking, where am I heading? How can I reach for the higher potential within myself? Excuse me. It's the ninth house. And it's what we believe. It's our spirituality. It's our connection with the universe and our higher thinking. Now, this could also translate to higher thinking as far as going to school, back to school, college, universities, or taking courses. Some of you might even be teaching here in May, or being called to the forefront to give some talks. And in that case, you will do really, really well. You have the Sun, Mercury, Mars, and Venus there, and also the new moon. So that will give you the insight, the fluence of speech. It will bring your heart and warmth to the forefront because Venus is there, and you'll be very point specific on what you're targeting. Now, if you're not giving any talks or going to school, it's more how you will target and funnel this energy up to higher consciousness and bring down the truths that you seek that can actually give you the objective, what should I say, feeling or understanding on why things have been evolving the way they have over these last few months. Especially, I'd say, probably there December, January is when this trend started. There was something very passionate or something also very dynamic that took place. And it kind of played out in many different ways for some of you. It was really good. For some of you, it could have been really bad. And I only say that because Neptune is there. And either Neptune will represent the highest ideal within love and romance, or it can also bring somebody down with the greatest of all illusions, and it hurts when the bubble of illusion bursts. So it's more like, okay, balancing up, getting on track, this is what I'm going to do and this is what I'm not going to do no more. So it's all about finding those answers for yourself and where I think you feel you're going to be heading. Also, we have a new moon here in May. It's going to be on the 9th, and it's also going to fall into your 9th house. And we have a new moon in this place for you every year around this time. What's a little different from this new moon is that it's a new moon eclipse. So it's more powerful. It's really going to help you boot the things that you no longer want in your thinking or in your ways, in your habits, of what you seek as higher values in people that you want to be around. So I see that as like a cleansing, which is going to be good. And it's also, of course, a time to plant your own seeds for the coming year in this field. Okay, this is the facet of the diamond you're looking through. So this would be where you want to put in those good intentions. Then we see that as the sun comes into your sign here end of April, it is going to be triggering, it's going to be passing over Mars, it's going to be passing over Venus. So you have a lot of energy right there that has to do with love and romance and how you want to go about it. And as we start off here on May 1st, we have Mercury moving into, accompanying these planets here into the 9th, coming out of the 8th. So it's been lagging there. Mercury went retrograde. And that delays everything like 3.5 weeks. So Mercury, which rules our thoughts, rules communication, it's been lingering there in the 8th house, which is really like sub-dynamic. It's deep, tied into our inner passions and what we perceive as alpha, omega, everything that ties in with our survival, so to speak. So whatever happened in your relationships, you've been giving this a good feel of death and rebirth, really cleansing it. So now it can open up and come into the ninth house of really grasping for those higher feelings and associations where faith is reborn. It's out of that Scorpion death and rebirth and into the house of Jupiter. So you'll feel how your mind is going to lift already from day one in May. Optimism, cheerfulness, all those kind of good things will be back in play. And also I see you feeling that much more empowered because the sun on the same day is going to be trining Pluto. Pluto again is that dynamic, deep death and rebirth. It's that what helps us transform. And this sense of transformation to the sun, which is your persona, the I am, is really coming together here. It's like coming from a deep sleep and back out into the sun. And so you should be feeling very much more so powerful May 1st, and you're going to bring that energy with you forward throughout the month. You're feeling confident, you're feeling radiant. It's going to allow you to start dreaming again. Maybe you haven't done that now for a little bit. And so new visions arise, and listen to the thoughts of these new visions. For you, it's all going to be about you're wanting to travel, you're wanting to expand, you're wanting to get out to see people in foreign places, cultures. You might take up studies or a new language at this time. And then on the 5th and 6th, we have some very interesting energies. Just as the sun combined with Pluto there on the 1st, Mars is coming up on it too. And Mars is dynamic energy. That is you rocketing forward. It's your ambitions. And Pluto being there, it's like Mars times 10. So those two together will really put you on track. And it's between your 9th house and your 5th house. So if there is a new relationship going on, I would say it's very dynamic this month of May. If you're going to meet somebody new, you can expect it to become very passionate right off the bat. If you are working for any type of projects, it will probably be a time that's very stimulating, very active. And also if it's a new project, I have to say there's a lot of money behind this one. Pluto and Capricorn in the 5th house, allowing you to take some action or direction, or even lead and guide a project may become possible. And then we have Mercury and Mars. They're conjunct here on the 7th. I see you, whatever was presented to you there on the 5th and 6th, I see you giving them their green light. So maybe you've had a little time to think things over or sleep on it. I see you at least being very communicative and action-oriented, and I think whatever is going to bestow upon you will also heal some of the past wounds where things didn't necessarily come together the way you had hoped. This is like not just the Band-Aid, but it's actually allowing you to kind of rip off these old scabs and grow new skin. Then we have the new moon there on the 9th, as we spoke about. Time to plant those intentions of how you want the whole coming year to be. And it's a Jupiter house, and it's beautiful for you Virgos because your 9th house is also ruled by Venus, since it's in the sign of Taurus. So you have like Venus and Jupiter in your 9th house. That will always just be such a good and lucky combinations for you at any given point in time. Okay, this is your birthright that was given to you at birth. And it also means that you will have the best of luck with foreign people and foreign places in business or also in love. Okay, because Jupiter is foreign countries and Venus is love. So, yeah, and that might be stimulated this month. And maybe you're out traveling with a beloved, or you might meet somebody new on a journey, and then you know that is a part of your destiny. Okay, so we have Venus moving into the 9th, on the 9th into your 10th house of career. You should start seeing how Venus, which rules money, now coming into your work arena. So you might expect that over the next month or so that you could be getting a raise perhaps, or that you will be in talks about work. Maybe they want you to do an additional thing. Your 10th house is Gemini, so you either might have two jobs or you might have two different arenas of responsibility at work. It could work out that way. Also, Jupiter is currently transiting there, and Venus will sooner or later be joining up with it. So I see something that's really starting to kind of work behind the veils, building its way up until this Venus is going to hit Jupiter, which is later in the month. We'll be back to that. So the 18th, let's go to that first one. This Venus is going to make a sextile to Uranus, which is in your 8th house. You could expect something unexpected. If it's from a love, which rules Venus, well then there's something really exciting and renewing and liberating coming from this. And Uranus rules the unexpected. So that might be a very nice day for you. It's also coming from the 8th house of other people's money. So if you're expecting child support or some commissions or royalties, if something has been tied up, it could be that you will receive news about this on this day. Possibly so, but it's a surprising day. On the 20th, the sun will move into your career house, 20th of May, and there is going to be a little bit of a shake-up elsewhere in the chart. Also on that day, we've talked about Uranus and Pluto. They're two, can be malefics. When they get together, they kind of butt heads, and it's like, oops. Uranus rules earthquakes, Pluto rules volcanoes, so you get the idea. And there's fission and friction here going on between them. For you, it will be between your 5th house and your 8th house. So some of you might feel that this can be coming from one of your children, perhaps. Going through a spell of something is a possibility, or it could also just be something around you within your fields of hobby, leisure. If you're a sportsman or an athlete, for example, you might be very challenged. Be careful on this day. But then again, also I'm seeing that it's more like you're going to get news of something rather than something happening to you personally. So you might hear about something taking place somewhere else. Then comes this beautiful day. We get it once a year, only for a day, and it is the beautiful aspect of Venus and Jupiter. Venus rules love and money and beautiful items and luxury things, everything that makes your heart tickle. And then Jupiter, which is abundant, and it's also what bestows upon you unexpectedly in huge leaps and bounds, coming through the 10th house. So perhaps you might get some good news this day here as far as getting a raise or a promotion. Great time to have a promotion. And then we end this month here with a full moon on the 24th, which will be in your, where are we, in the 9th house. No, we're not, excuse me. In your 4th house, which is home and family. The full moon in itself is a time when we harvest things that we've been working towards, from previous month. Each full moon we harvest what the new moon was sowing. So you will see some things come to the home around this time, but it's more than just a full moon, it's an eclipse, full moon eclipse, which makes it full moon times 10. And the eclipse also, now we had an eclipse here in April as well, so we got like 2 of them coming in a row, and then we had the new moon eclipse here on the 9th. So things are happening. It helps us shunt over into new areas. It helps us close those things that need to be closed. Some of you might feel that things within the home or family or within traditions might eclipse out for whatever reason. The only thing you can do is trust that it is there for a reason, because new things will come from it. So this eclipse, pay attention to it. It's going to be interesting, and it's going to be deeply felt, more deeply within your own core, your past, your roots. There might be things emotionally coming up for you that you will suddenly see or see in a new light. And this may, for example, help you process whatever needs to go. For example, if you've been stuffing or harboring something from way back when, or it could be a family situation that was a little painful, well, at this point, you may be able to forgive and let go. And that's a blessing. Anything we can forgive and let go sets you free. So then we only have 2 more things to report for this month, and that is Mercury is going to be moving into your 11th house on the 30th. So that's bringing your consciousness out of the work field, bringing you more into a time and a phase, a whole month, of being more social, catching up with friends, being more chatty and communicative, hanging out. And also if you're joining any kind of social networks, I see you being busy there over the wires. And then we have Mars too, which is changing on the same day, moving out of this higher justice or this area of higher thinking, moving into the area of career. So you will see now that Mars is now obtaining the placement in your chart, which it can only do once every 2 years, meaning that 2 years ago you started on a specific cycle with career, which has concluded itself. It went through once, and now it's concluding its full cycle here. So you should be achieving some kind of awards for it, not necessarily from out there, but within here you have achieved something, and you'll see how things are going to be kicking into action as we come into June, which we'll be talking about next month's forecast. A lot of energy going on there in the career field, because that Mars is also going to be meeting up with Jupiter, and just you wait to see what that's going to be. So please do subscribe so you get your forecast for next month directly to your inbox, and listen to your moon sign and rising sign if you know it. Bye now.